just want iDubbbz to go back to eating air cake and saying the N-word.
Saying
None of that. There have been numerous other content creators that were able to shift their careers, and that's completely fine. PewDiePie, H3H3,
I'm Batman.
Pyrocynical,
oh no, he's hot!
Max Mofo, and even Filthy Frank that completely changed industries into a music career.
Damn, girl. You grew up.
And still, they all managed to be accepted and retain a lot from their previous audiences, including me. The same, however, can't be said for iDubbbz, who literally shunned his previous viewers, calling them incels, antisocial, weird basement dwellers.
Some people were very much like antisocial, weird basement dwellers. You know, the one time a month that they come out of their cave and they run into me, their favorite YouTuber.
Oh my god! Even though they're from... Oh my god!
Shifter!
Huh?
You're just an iDubbbz fanboy who wants the old iDubbbz back! Brother, weren't you listening? I gave you 5 edgy YouTubers that entirely shifted their content and got accepted. It doesn't even make sense. If I were a fanboy, I'd follow him mindlessly, as opposed to critiquing him.
What the Sigma?
But I guess that his new audience consists of mostly Twitter virtual signalers who don't even watch him. They just hate on old iDubbbz fans, and regardless of what you say, they'll just call you incel, racist, and all words ending with phobe that they know of.
Oh no. Anyway.
You're a fake and a fraud.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
Someone once made well-thought-out videos calling out hypocritical and pretentious people is now pretentious and hypocritical himself, and like me, making absolute bottom-of-the-barrel content ever since Creator Clash 2 and the entire Froggy Fresh drama.
On April 15th, if I don't hurt you beyond what anybody could have imagined, I will be so disappointed in myself that I will subscribe to Anissa's OnlyFans.
His views have been steadily declining. I guess that scamming his audience was the final nail in the coffin, so one by one, they shifted to watching other channels. But iDubbbz didn't scam anyone! Yes, he and his husband Anissa Joma did. They promoted Creator Clash 2 as a charity event, but they structured it in such a terrible way that ended up not donating any of the money to charity. All the profits are going to charity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is there like a payday in the future that you guys are working towards?
No, not really.
Because they focused on paying the fighters and celebrities such as Hassan Piker,
Oh my god, he's crying!
What a
Fucking
Frogan,
About whether that's worthwhile?
Jax Films, and others. They all got paid flights, hotel stays, to attend a charity event. People that aren't even relating to a fighting event. Big Bungie said it best.
I find it funny that these multimillionaires had to be paid to show their support for a charity event.
Anyway, I get paying for the fighters and stuff, but completely unrelated friends? From the money people thought that was going to charity? And you all know that these high-class individuals aren't flying economy and staying at 2-star hotels. But they did a big charity stream after that. Okay, nice. I applaud and commend that. We're not talking about the stream though, it's completely unrelated. They could have made a charity stream any other day of the week, month, or year. The charity stream and charity boxing event are 2 separate events. We aren't here to talk about bygones. This was just referring to Ian Slow falling from grace. And if you still don't believe me, I pulled out some viewer statistics from iDubbbz channel regarding to subscribers and viewers, and they all seem to be taking a dive. So if you don't believe me or statistics, then I don't know what else to tell you. Fine, I guess that you won then. If you just watch iDubbbz before and you watch him now, you know what I'm talking about. What once was an energetic, funny, charismatic individual is now a grandstanding, unfunny, depressed-looking former shell of himself. Neutered! I like your well-researched content cops infallibly calling out people for their bad behavior. Stops making content cops. I like your well-structured and organized documentaries. Guess that he stopped making those as well, so what's left? Anyway, recently had a coming back together reunion with Max Mofo and Anything for Views on the Cold Ones channel. The name of the video is We Tested Vintage Kitchen Gadgets, and the comments absolutely ripped into iDubbbz. It's so sweet of you two to invite your lesbian on the show. She didn't contribute much, but she seemed to enjoy watching you two have fun nonetheless. You guys are lucky he could fit you in between his wife's tattoo appointments, which refers to iDubbbz missing Max Mofo's wedding because Anissa allegedly had some tattoo appointments. Now I don't know if Ian and Max are that close in real life. All their collaborations lead me to believe so. So missing one of your friend's most important days just because of some tattoo appointment? But hey, things are not always what they seem. So they can hate each other in real life and I wouldn't be the wisest to know. Now listen, the entire missing the wedding because Anissa was having a tattoo appointment is alleged, alright? Ian said that he had important stuff to do and it also coincided with the tattoo appointments. The fact of the matter is that Joji, a true friend, rescheduled his entire show tour in order to attend the wedding, but he and Joma was way too busy and couldn't attend. Bro looks like he's actually banned from having fun. Does iDubbbz even know he's there? Nice of Anissa to let Ian out to play once every few years. You can see the video for yourself, but to me personally, the vibes were completely off. Ian 100% failed the cheeseball vibe check.
Which is crazy because I remember that day my vibes were immaculate. He wouldn't enter the cheeseball circle.
Now you can argue all you want that Ian is just being true to himself and that's how he's in real life. Fact is, he was one of the biggest creators in a platform at one point in time. He's supposed to entertain his audience. Your job as a YouTuber is to entertain in whatever way you can, not act like a peon, a piece of furniture practically not adding anything to the roster. Do you think that most YouTubers want to make videos every single day? Do you think that your favorite creator wakes up every single day and wants to spend more than 8 hours making videos regardless of if they're having a bad day, their dog and entire family died in a house fire? No! They set those aside and try to entertain their audience. It's their job. No, I personally think that the comment section ripped way too much into him. However, I don't think that they were expecting iDubbbz to completely shave, put his hair shavings on the pizza, and start yelling out the N-word either.
Say
Please you need to stop. There are children. Please stop.
Most people just wanted iDubbbz to do something, act like a human being, which he didn't for the most part. Well, Ian and Anissa felt the need to go on their own podcast, She Ruined My Career. Ha! So edgy and quirky, making fun of the internet collectively, saying that Anissa ruined Ian's career and naming the podcast after that. Ironic humor! Anyway, they had this big podcast episode addressing the comments on the Cold Ones video.
Dane, Ian got sick from drinking rainwater that he collected off of
Oh, yeah.
disgusting roof.
Yeah, that's
Well,
where I
anyway, this is all good to bring up because this is the type of that people expected you to do in the new Max and Chad cooking video.
Mhm.
They expected you to eat dead birds, to I don't know, a dead horse or something, do something shocking. But all you did was just make a pizza and laugh at Max and Chad, and you spat an egg, and that's it.
Yeah.
No, sorry, Dane. This is not the case. This couldn't be a worse characterization of what people wanted. 9 months ago, iDubbbz made a video eating weird ice cream in the woods in the most disgusting way. Legit looked like a baby eating for the first time. And would you look at that? 360,000 views!
Camera girl, you mind hitting the rear quarters? Give him a gooch.
Yeah.
Ooh. That kind of... This is not an infant tiger. This is a huge tiger. This thing is massive. Oh my God. To be honest, it's pretty rare. A lot of people actually mistake tiger tail. That's good. I wish you guys could taste what I'm tasting here. This is like one of those Flintstones like push pops, but a little bit more remedial.
Brother, what's that?
So no, Dane. People didn't want to watch Ian putting his hair on a pizza and saying the N-word. People wanted Ian to have a personality and have fun with his friends. That's a terrible way to characterize what people really want, which is for Ian or iDubbbz to act like a person and don't act like a neutered, empty-esque all of the time. The comment section is also about Ian looking like he's not even there. I bet that less of 1% of comments were saying, I miss the old iDubbbz. I want him to eat vomit cake once again with his pals. Of course that there are always a few outliers. Every community has them. Do you mean to tell me that out of all of the millions of viewers that the Cold Ones channel has, there's not a single person that's not completely there in the ad, with a few screws loose? It's statistically impossible. Even Ian and Anissa combined with their 100 viewers left are bound to have at least one weirdo lurking.
Where the f is everyone?
It's something that we as creators simply can't control.
Exactly.
Spat an egg and that's it.
But I don't know. This was, I think, a little bit of a wake-up call for me, because I think I have, you know, over the past year, maybe couple of years, I don't feel like, I've kind of been ignoring a lot of feedback, I think, from the audience.
Well, it's been hard because you have, in some regards, been gaslit pretty heavily.
Right.
Like,
well, that's what I'm getting at. Is in general, it's very difficult to separate constructive criticism from hate sometimes, because like we're really fucking good as people of like constructing like a statement online, especially with all the restrictions that these platforms have. Constructing a really like punchy, mean thing to say that sounds just like criticism or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
in a vacuum, I'd agree with this statement. However, iDubbbz and his subreddit are a big circle jerk of like-minded individuals, an echo chamber if you will. So either you have the same opinion as them, you have positive comments, or your comment will be deleted. There's no room for free thinking in this subreddit. Anything mildly negative will be deleted. This one post just proves my point. Either you are overwhelmingly positive, or your posts get removed. Your post will also get locked if it's too controversial and starts stirring up the pot way too much. Don't you find it weird that there's not a single post in this thread that's not mildly negative? There's no discussion whatsoever, only people misinterpreting what the haters in quotation marks really want. I know that it's pretty hard to tell actual criticism for the fake criticism and people just hating, but like, if an overwhelmingly majority of the people are saying that iDubbbz looks like he's a husk, not funny anymore, no more good skits, no well-researched content, are they also a big hive mind? Could be. Okay, I don't know, right? Figure it out! iDubbbz is a big content creator with a lot of connections. Find actual people to criticize him that are also close to him. The way he is now, it's just a big echo chamber where anything negative is discarded and labeled as hate from incel old iDubbbz fans. iDubbbz didn't grow, it changed. He did a completely 180 from one day to another. At the beginning of the video, I gave numerous examples of content creators who also changed and just so happened to grow along the way. Just because you change, it doesn't mean that you're growing. Just like it doesn't mean that you're changing for the best.
And it's really kind of sad because I don't, it's an energy and it's a vibe.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, if I think that's what a lot of people have been picking up on is like, oh, the vibes are off.
Yeah.
Oh, the vibes are definitely off. I'd even add, Ian would definitely not pass the cheese ball vibe check, which is reserved for only the people with the most immaculate of vibes.
Which is crazy because I remember that day my vibes were immaculate.
And I just want to know how you feel about that, or like what you, like where you want to take the channel. Because I think there's a lot of people who are either like, they've already kind of been like, oh, okay, he's totally different, whatever. Or they're like waiting for you to like, I think there's a lot of people who are waiting for you to figure it out.
Yeah.
Which I think, honestly, after the Max and Chad video and you saw all the comments, I do think that like something clicked in your brain where you were like,
yeah,
okay, like I can and I should be a little bit more aware of like what the audience wants and that you're an entertainer.
I'm for sure waiting for iDubbbz to figure it out. I'm willing to overlook everything that iDubbbz did, in fact, shunning his entire audience and his older fans, calling us every bad word in the book, thinking that he was the only person who grew and we are just haters that are unable to grow and just want the old iDubbbz back. I'm willing to forget all of that if Ian figures it out and makes actual good content. People want to see the real Ian, as long as he's entertaining and doesn't grandstand to his older fans. If he keeps collectively making fun of his old audience and calling them names, the hate won't stop coming. It's not nice when your favorite YouTuber disowns you. I'm not your dad, alright? Sure, while that might be true, his channel was built up on that massive building block. Constantly trying to destroy that foundation will never let him properly rebuild his channel. This is what I want. I want good and well thought out videos that don't constantly grandstand and make jabs and strawman out of my perceived character. I hate to say this, but Anissa is totally right. Listen, if the vast majority is saying one thing, which is that Ian doesn't even look like he's there, then it must mean at least something. Ian is not our father, but he 100% has the duty, the obligation to entertain his audience in some way, and the way that he's doing it right now, that's not the way, and it shows by his declining viewership. Oh, but Shifter, it's his channel. He does whatever the he wants. Okay then don't start blaming his old bigoted audience for his own shortcomings. The sooner he stops calling his old audience names and treating them like subhumans, the faster that everyone will forget. Straight up!
You know what's interesting is I'm realizing that, like, even the phrase like, hey guys, I'm hearing your comments and your feedback and I'm listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even me saying that phrase, I'm like, man, such a bitch thing to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I genuinely, I am listening to the feedback, and not all of the feedback. Some of the feedback's very cruel.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me give the commenters my own feedback.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit nicer.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So, give and take.
Yeah.
You know.
I have a hard time listening when it's full of vitriol.
Yeah, I'd like to be able to hear out iDubbbz for more than a minute without him being interrupted by Anissa. I know that she probably can't help herself, but throughout his entire podcast, she constantly interrupts him, like walking a dog and slightly tugging at the collar to make him walk in a certain direction. Sorry to all of the Anissa Joma enjoyers in the video, but stop interrupting him! She's not making a good case for herself for whenever people say that she's controlling him. Look at the podcast, he can barely finish a full sentence without being interrupted. Back to the topic. Brother, Ian's videos shunning his old community are always full of vitriol and grandstanding. His appearance on the Anthony Padilla podcast as well. Look at me, I've grown as a person and you didn't. No one, especially people that have been following him for the longest time, want to hear that. They just want content. They just want for iDubbbz to drop his massive echo chamber, listen to the criticism, stop grandstanding to his audience and make good and entertaining content. Right now, as it is, all the negativity goes out the window. Do you think that living in an environment where you're surrounded by yes men and people that only say good things about you is an environment that promotes growth? No! Imagine that Ian's life was a game. A big RPG video game. Brother is stuck on the tutorial zone and thinks that he's grown so much just because he can defeat the basic mobs. He needs to be exposed to further and higher levels of criticism in order to actually start growing. I won't go further into Anissa's stream rant since I've made a video about that already, so I'd be just reusing talking points and saying the same thing all over again. But if you want to go watch it, I'll leave a link to it down below.